I grew up in the area, so I have connection to the lakes. They're economically very important to the area. It's part of the recreation. Keeping them clean is very, very important to me. But I'm also interested just from a basic science. How do lakes work? There's so much we still don't know about them.
So much of science these days that's funded is question, hypothesis-driven, but that's not necessarily what we do. We are making the same observations week in and week out, year after year. Without this data, we can't assess change.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Andrews,
climate scientist,
ocean adventurer,
and systems specialist at NexSens. The Lakes Environmental Association, or LEA, is a non-profit organisation dedicated to protecting the lakes and watersheds of the Greater Sebago Lake region in southern Maine, focused on action, advocacy, and analysis. This incredible community effort has been speaking up for Maine's historically underprotected lakes for over 50 years. LEA staff and volunteers help to monitor 41 lakes in the region by conducting spot sampling. In an area covering over 200 square miles, this is a Herculean effort.
We have 41 different systems, and 22 of them we monitor every 2 weeks. The rest we go visit once a year. And we're doing basic water quality measurements, and that's the key to our basic mission. This is temperature. Inside here is a conductivity electrode, dissolved oxygen, pH. This is turbidity, and this is the total algae sensor, which is combination of chlorophyll and phycocyanin, and then pressure sensor here for depth.
It's part of our routine water quality monitoring. So it's an effort to get baseline data so that we can determine if water quality is changing over time. And we'll take algae samples so that I can analyze those in the lab.
That's kind of like the main 3 stations we're doing here for the lab. Here we're testing using our pH probe and conductivity probe to test the pH and specific conductivity of the water samples that we take from each lake. Here we're doing the titration with our water samples, and then we're doing our filtering. We'll test those for chlorophyll and algae that's in the water.
2 weeks when you're scheduling it and you're going out there, it sounds like a lot of data and a lot of water testing, but actually it's still far enough apart to where we can really miss some good information.
At Highland Lake and Long Lake, monitoring efforts have been upgraded thanks to generous donations to include automated water monitoring buoys. 2 NexSens CB450 buoys are deployed on the lake seasonally, measuring temperature, oxygen, clarity, chlorophyll, and water level at the lake's deepest point every 15 minutes. Collected data is transmitted via the NexSens X-Series data logger to the cloud, where it's stored in WQ Data Live. A nearby, centrally located meteorological system collects weather data for the 2 lakes. This enables LEA to analyse the influence of climate on water quality.
We've had the buoy since 2014, 2015, this one, and our second buoy was a little bit shorter. So we have almost 11 years of data and 9 years of data. We're really getting at that idea of what's the state of these lakes from a quality standpoint, from a trophic state standpoint, and are they changing? Are there trends? Having a buoy in that's recording 24/7 every 15 minutes is an advantage to getting a lot more information about what the lake is doing over a season, but over the longer term.
The data that we get from our spot measurements is very similar to the data that we collect with the buoys, so we can use them to quality control each other. Sometimes we learn from that what we thought was the highest water temperature on the surface from our 2-week data actually wasn't. And it was, a couple days earlier or a couple days later. People don't necessarily just want raw data. I get excited about it, Ben does too, but most people just want to know what it means. We issue reports every year that distill the data down and still provides averages and trends, but also attempts to interpret the data for people, without committing to good or bad.
And the innovation doesn't stop there. Ben is using an ingenious method to collect data from a moving boat by using the YSI XO Tucson in flow-through mode.
5 years maybe, I think. Well, we started it actually maybe longer ago than that. I have adapted and started to think about doing smaller scale areas. So is there a bloom in a cove, or is there turbidity caused by a boat going by? Those are the kind of questions we'll hopefully try to answer with this.
Combining real-time monitoring with spot sampling is giving scientists a better picture of ecosystem health across 41 lakes. This hybrid approach is helping detect change as it happens and is supporting lake management. Together, tradition and innovation are helping protect Maine's freshwater ecosystems now and into the future. Visit nexsens.com for more information. NexSens. Better data. It's never been easier.